Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host Gershwan and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today, as promised, we continue with the Eldar as we talk about part 2 about the Biel-Tan. So let's get into 40 facts about the Eldar of Biel-Tan. Biel-Tan places an unusual importance on the role of the warrior within their society. Whereas in many craft worlds, the Farseers hold sway over important decisions. On Biel-Tan, a warrior council, referred to as the Court of the Young King, appears to be at least the equal of the Farseers. This cadre reveres the idol of the Eldar war god, Kaila Mensha Cain, and have taken its name from the ceremony in which they awaken the avatar of Cain. A strong and dynamic political faction, it is often the court that makes the decision to go to war or negotiate as they see fit. Every member of the court is an aspect warrior, trapped in one particular path, unable to move to another path and gain new experiences. These exarchs, as they are known, are perhaps the most potent political force acting in Biel-Tan, as well as its most deadly warriors. The exarchs are also the ones who designate the young king, who is ritually sacrificed on all Eldar craft worlds to awaken the raging spirit of the avatar. The exarchs of the court are deadly hostile to all outsiders, as one might expect, and it is their influence which has produced the unusually aggressive and xenophobic culture of the Biel-Tan craft world. It is speculated that the court is what drives the craft world to war over and over again. The Eldar way of war is very much akin to a child's puzzle. The Eldar army functions by dozens of mutually supporting elements combining, creating a dangerous and effective force. Each piece plays its own specific part. Notable Biel-Tan campaigns include the Pyre of Kilakak Bane, when Imperial xenologists begin to plunder the buried artifacts of the Eldar maiden world, Kiliak, triggering a devastating response from the nearby Eldar craft world of Biel-Tan and Ulthwé. After a confirmed sighting of the Phoenix Lord, Jain Zar, and over 100 Howling Banshee disciples, the Imperial interlopers are killed to a man, incinerated as their ashes scattered to the wind. Another large event was when craft world Biel-Tan began a bloody war to reclaim the maiden world of Rassilon from the encroaching humans. Their Eldar allies, the Yandin, judging that reclaiming the Rassilon brings no benefit in the ongoing wars against Chaos, refused to send aid. Even when 2 whole sector fleets and 10 Space Marine chapters joined the fight, Biel-Tan eventually emerged bloodied but victorious. Thereafter, the 2 craft worlds soon lost their unity of purpose, each assuming the other to be uncommitted to their alliance. The Battle of Ora Sepulchre is yet another defining event when an Eldar emissary from the Biel-Tan craft world was sent to the Imperial world of Comrath to enter negotiations with the planetary governor for the return of an ancient Eldritch artifact from the tomb of one of the Ultramarines' most beloved heroes, Captain Orar, known as the Scepter of Galaxian. When the Imperial noble refused his request, the Eldar emissary grew angry, and soon his pleas turned to threats of violence. The planetary governor refused to be threatened by the arrogant Xenos, and had the Eldar executed on the spot. The governor had the foresight to heed the Eldar's threat and request aid from the Ultramarines. Eldar from the Alitok and Yandin craft world then proceeded to assault the planet of Comrath to recover the Eldar artifact. Orar was a great Ultramarine hero in the aftermath of the Horus Heresy. The chapter master Marnius Calgar vowed not a single alien would breach the sanctity of his tomb. For the first time since the Battle of Macragge, Calgar led his entire chapter to war. The Eldar descended upon the planet to find it held against them by the Ultramarines. Eldar aspect warriors and guardians darted towards the main gates of the great edifice that was Orar's tomb, as grav tanks and artillery engines battered the Imperial defenders. On Calgar's command, the Ultramarines emerged from cover and scoured the invaders from the steps within the tomb. With disciplined bolter volleys, the Eldars fell back, only to find their lines of retreat cut off by the assault marines and land speeders. Eldar leaders emerged from cover and rallied the trapped first wave, only to fall to sniper fire as the Ultramarine scouts made their presence known. The initial Eldar assault faltered, but for an entire day and night they continued to attack. Though they mustered every arcane science at their command, they could not overcome the tactical brilliance of Marneus Calgar and his Ultramarines. The following day, a fresh assault swept onto the great stairs of the sepulchre, led by a colossal figure covered in flames, the Avatar of Cain, the Eldar god of war. Heavy weapon fire seemed only to anger the creature, and the Ultramarines' battle line buckled beneath its onslaught. Calgar issued a challenge himself. The fierce god bellowed with fury. Its first blow missed the Ultramarine chapter master by a hair's breadth. The second tore plate from Calgar's armor. The third bit deep into his shoulder, driving the chapter master to one knee. The fourth slammed into the armored palm of Calgar's left hand. Rising up, Calgar struck with all his strength, bringing his other gauntlet around in a mighty arc that punched clean through the molten iron of the Avatar's torso. With the fall of their war god, the Eldar lost all heart and retreated. Some fled without heed, while others fell back in good order, but all the Xenos retreated into the darkness. In his wisdom, Calgar knew that the Eldar would return for the artifact, so it was he who informed Comrath's governor that the Chaldean scepter would be removed from Orars and back to Macragge, where it could be properly defended. In another campaign, a vast Imperial force comprising of the 52nd and the 124th Valhallan Imperial Guard regiments leads an invasion of the ice planet of Kalon. To prevent a sacred Eldar temple of Aisha from falling into the hands of the Imperium, the craft-world Biel-Tan and Luganeth each field their most potent ghost warriors and aspect warriors in a unified force. Eventually, the Eldar reach the temple and encircle it with ghost warriors, only for a war blizzard to bring new terrors in the form of a wave of demons. An uneasy alliance is struck between the Eldar and the Imperial forces to purge the planet of frost-blighted Slaaneshi warp hordes. However, the Eldars have a great plan and lure the demons and Valhallans into a bloody conflict against each other. That greatly reduces the number of each. Though the Valhallans are finally victorious against the warp spawn, the Ghost Warriors easily destroy the exhausted Imperial survivors. The Biel-Tan know of the horrors the Tyranids can be, and that is why they team up with the Eldars of Iyanden and Dark Eldar forces to prevent the biological union of High Fleet Kraken and Leviathan upon the maiden world of Duriel. They are successful, but Duriel itself is sacrificed to ensure victory, through means of an arcane device known as the Fireheart. Encouraged by their success against the Tyranids at Duriel, the Eldar of Iyanden and Biel-Tan bring Fireheart to other worlds. They begin a campaign of planetary annihilation in order to starve High Fleet Leviathan as it advances. The two craft worlds then take part in the incineration of dozens of Imperial and Orc-held worlds in and around the Ictorius sector. By swiftly establishing beachheads and activating a modified version of the Psycho Doomsday device used to destroy the Tyranid-infested planets of Duriel, the Eldar ensure that no shred of biomass is left. Countless worlds, many of them inhabited, are scoured clean of biomass in the ensuing campaign, though the Imperium rages at the slaughter, blindly venting its wrath upon the Xeno spaceships within a dozen parcels. High Fleet Leviathan is denied crucial bioresources as a result. A short time after, a major part of the High Fleet is isolated and destroyed by interlacing Eldar attacks. Within the ranks of the Eldar of Biel-Tan exists Macha. Macha is a powerful Eldar Farseer Psyker who has originally sealed a great demon in the Chaos artifact called the Maledictum on the world of Tartarus. She later sought to prevent its unwitting release by the agents of mankind, Later events indicate that her destiny had become intertwined with that of Captain Gabriel Angelos of the Blood Ravens Space Marine chapter. Another notable Biel-Tan warrior is Marion. He is a militant Artarch who leads campaigns to purge non-Eldar presence off Expedited Worlds and Maiden Worlds. A former warrior of the Fire Dragon Aspect Shrine, Marion is filled with a burning rage and hatred of the lesser species that now inhabit these worlds. He has led many ruthless campaigns to purge these infestations of both orcs and humans. One of his greatest challenges came in the early 41st millennium, during the Baron Wars, where the Artarch managed to defeat both a detachment of Raven Guard Space Marines and an Orc horde under Warboss Snag. And those were 40 facts about the Biel-Tan Eldar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to finish with Biel-Tan specific lore, I guess. We're going to get into a huge battle that they were a part of. This battle is probably going to take some time, so expect that coming up soon. Subscribe to the channel to get that. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for liking, commenting, and sharing. You are awesome, and I'll catch you in the next episode. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.